not prepared. As usual. As usual. Of course not. And I gotta tell you, today's not any different. Don't mind me, just setting my phone on Do Not Disturb so I don't do something like I usually do and forget and then have some weird notification that nobody needs to be seeing but me. We've already done that. So, hi! First of all, we're gonna work in the heat so there's no weird background noise because I don't have skills when it comes to the sound. So I want to know, I want you all to know, I'm doing this for you. Okay? I'm doing this for you. I am. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not bitter. I'm not. I'm salty though. So there's something. Let's also mute the computer just in case. Just in case. So yeah. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I need to fix my pants. I finally washed them. And now I have to fix them so that I can wear them again. Because as much as I love to show my ass, apparently, maybe better if I didn't. So, yeah. So the good, grand, wonderful, exciting news is that I parted ways with my day job this morning against my will. That's putting it nicely. It's awful. It sucks. I hate it. I can't do anything about it. Oh, fucking well. So here we are. But I haven't made anything, fixed anything, did anything with anything in so long that, here we are. So I'm just gonna do what we do here. Ramble and stab things. It's gross exaggeration to what we do. Anybody else appreciate the irony of somebody who doesn't celebrate Christmas having this? I do. Yes. Relics from old gifts from people I don't talk to anymore. Waste not, want not. So, yay, hooray. Now, I cut this already. Let's just put this out here. We don't mend things with wrinkled things. That's not what we do. We have the clothes are straight, the fabric is straight. I've decided I don't care. We don't do that. But that's when we have time. We don't have time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go with it. Yeah. I kind of feel like I've gotten to the point where I have like nothing to lose. That's 100% not accurate, by the way. I definitely have more things to lose. Absolutely. But I've gotten to a point where it feels like things can't get any worse. And so, yeah. And it's really hard to care about things when this is what they look like. So I cut this out ahead of time. Normally what I would be doing is I would be measuring this on the outside and whatnot, but I know that it's got to stretch basically all the way over here, and I wanted to get as much done at the same time as I could within like reason, and reinforcing it is not going to hurt. Now, I don't know what I'm doing with the outside. We're just focusing on this right now because I needed, and actually I'm going to put like this because I don't want all of that extra fabric from that hem up here. I've had, actually I'm going to put it like this. There we go. 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 I mean, there's a little bit over there. No, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I didn't think this through. Generally speaking, I would take this hem completely out, but there's some back stitching right here that I don't want to deal with. So what we're not going to do is that. Now, theoretically, we're going to do this. We need to do this properly. And there's a couple of things that I have learned over the course of doing this a bunch of times. And one of those things is using safety pins instead of pins, because Safety pins are really handy for not stabbing yourself, like pins are. So the first thing we're gonna do, I don't know how long we're gonna get with this, how far we're gonna get, but yes. So, I've been gone forever. Yes, yes. I've popped in here to game here and there, on my phone because I can't, focus on, anything. That's happened a few times, but really, that's it, and that's that's not much of anything, honestly. So yeah, that's not much of anything. And I've been bad about keeping up with anything. Mostly because I'm just bad at keeping up with stuff. Frankly, I'm doing too much at all times, and it's just not humanly possible for me to catch up with everything. It just isn't. Now, let's acknowledge that we're sewing a pocket today too. Like, we're sewing an area that's going to involve a pocket, so there's going to probably be some extra steps that I'm going to have to take, which might mean we don't get as far into this as I'd like to. Yes. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I am. I'm doing a bunch of things at one time because, of course, I am. Of course I am. Okay, so that has happened. And hold on, we're looking for stuff. This is one of those things where it's a really good thing that I'm not doing anything else. Okay, there we go. All right, so, yeah, but I really haven't been doing anything, and I don't like that, honestly. It's not good for me to not make stuff. But honestly, I've been so tired. Like, I get home from work and I don't have it in me to do anything. Like, I think that I do, and then like I think that I do. And then I walk into my house and like seconds later, I'm dead to the world. Like, seriously, I don't have it in me to do jack or shit. I don't know what happens. It's like I walk through this force field or this cloud or this something, and then all of a sudden just fucking no. Just no. Just no. And that's all she wrote. So here we are. Now, again, I cannot tell you offhand the artist. It is actually a local artist in Richmond who does this. And I actually looked his stuff up. It's somewhere in my Evernote because I kept referencing him. I don't know how I found him. I found him on Instagram, of all places, randomly. I found a lot of like random local humans on Instagram, actually, to be honest with you, which seems really strange to me. I mean, it's great. Okay, like, it's great. But this also seems really weird. Like, oh, okay, of all the places that you are on the line, that's where you're finding people? All right. The knit designer I know, we found each other that way. And then a potter that they know that is also local, but local to Virginia, not local to our specific area. They I know them because of them, and I think I'd already found them because they were like, we're in Virginia, and I'm like, awesome, me too. So yeah. The bad news is my day job and I are no longer on speaking terms. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I have been very mum about where I work. That has been deliberate. Why? Because I have a brain. And I know that it's not a great idea to spread around the internet personal identifying information about myself. It's not. So I didn't. Hooray! I was smart enough to not do that. And I also don't use my real name for anything, so there's that too. But I gotta tell you, I'm not encouraging you. I'm really not. But I'm not that hard to find. Which is why this is like silly that somebody wouldn't have come across me. Like, I'm nobody, honestly. I'm not anybody. I'm just some rando on the internet, right? I have very, very small in the way of people who even know who I am. And in fact, what's funny is a lot of people who know me don't actually know what I do because I don't talk about it. Because I just don't. I'll tell you what, story time. This is not long. This is short. That's what she said. No, the reason I don't talk about what I do is because in my experience, most people aren't interested in anything I actually have to say. Even if they ask me, they're really not interested. Based on the glazed looks on their face and the, yeah, really? Oh, okay. They're not interested. Now, my thing with it is I don't need to talk to somebody about anything about myself, to be honest. This one's going to be tough because this is thick. Thicker than a Snickers. I don't need to talk about my work to people who don't care. I don't. And if you don't care, that's okay. I don't know why you're here. I don't know what you're doing. If you're that bored, I'm not that interesting. I really am not. But I am declawed though, partially. I kept ripping them. I did really good for a while. We're going to grow them back out. Don't worry. Not that it matters. Not that they're benefiting me or anything else. Although, getting the lemon seeds out of my juicer is way easier with longer nails. Okay. Unnecessary information for everybody out there on the internet. But yeah, no. I've had people ask me, and I feel like it's a polite question is what's going on. It is. And that's nice. Please don't. Please don't. Like, if you really don't want to hear me melt your brain about string, don't ask me what I do. Just don't. It's okay. It really is. It's okay if you do not engage with me on that. Because I'm going to melt your brain. And then at some point, all of the training that I've gotten from trying to human over the years is going to kick in, and I'm going to realize that you don't care what I'm doing. And then I'm going to feel awful. It's going to be awesome. I love this for myself. And then I'm going to instantly regret saying anything and want to go into a hole and never come out. And that's one of the many reasons why I have trouble showing up here and anywhere else. mental health is trash over here. So we've put as many on there as I can. Apparently I've never done a patch this big because I have never run out of really large safety pins. So this is a first. That's okay. Does that mean we need more safety pins? I think that's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. But that's okay. So I am just attaching this. And the safety pins is because in the manipulation of this fabric, what's going to happen, right, is I'm going to stab the hell out of myself if I use straight pins. So safety pins, this is not a thing that I have to worry about. Now we must find a sufficient needle, and I think we're going to use this one because we want, they're called sharps, which is really funny because aren't all needles sharp? And the answer to that is no, they're not, actually. There's a number of needles that aren't sharp at all, in fact. So there you go. Unnecessary information for you today. You're welcome. Yeah. But quilting sharps is what these are. They're very, very sharp. They're usually very, very tiny, and they're very, very good for when you have to get through something that is extra fuss. And what we're doing is I'm going through my stash of stuff. I'm a trash panda, among other things, right? And I'm waste not, want not. Like, so this is old, I want to say this is from Bobbin Lace or something. And so when I went to unwrap the bobbins, I said, oh, hey, that's a good amount of thread. And actually, this is a terrible idea. We shouldn't use that one. That'll be super hard to use. Now, I said bobbin. I meant bobbin lace, not to be confused with bobbins that you find in sewing machines, for example. And that also, the end of your bobbin thread, also perfect for basting. And all basting is, not the turkey. All basting is, I did. I've magnetized this somehow, because science. Now it's like, I'm never going to come off a magnet. Basting is just loosely attaching this. So now you get to see me struggle with this. This is going to be super fun. I love this for myself. The struggle is real, and it is constant. It is constant. Yeah, so one little trick is you can turn it so that the eye is facing you, right? And that's the thinner side of the needle. And then do that. Make it really small. And if you talk nice to it and buy it dinner, it might go in the hole. Wow, we're really bad today. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Oh my gosh, this hates me. This hates me so much. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I make lamb. Now there's like a number of ways to get, like I could use a needle threader, but I gotta tell you, those things are so flimsy. I don't like them. Oh, God, this hates me. This is so awesome. So incredibly awesome. So yeah, we're gonna go at this for a minute, give the old college try, because I can't proceed without doing this, and I don't want to use a bigger needle because I don't want to make larger holes in the fabric. Like, I don't. So, where is my needle threader? Do I even know? Do I even know? I don't think so. Oh, this is so fussy. It doesn't help that I'm like nearsighted either. Oh yes. Oh yes, money. Money. Oh, winner chicken dinner. Okay, so like literally, you just need the tip. Just a little bit. That's enough. That's enough. Literally, scientifically, medically, that's enough. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. Can't take just. We're having a rough go at things today. Yeah, so I've been partially dressed for work all day. Because I was in the middle of getting dressed and to leave when I got the call. Now, I'm trying to find the silver lining in all this. Part of it is at least I didn't go and waste gas to get all the way there. Because I gotta tell you, I would have been hella pissed if I had driven all the way to work. And they would have said, oh yeah, get out. I would not have been happy. So what we're doing now is we're going to attach this. And when I do this, then I could take the safety pins off. And then I can work on setting up the outside, because one of the reasons I haven't actually been working on this, honestly, like it's not time. It's I didn't have any backing fabric, and I went to a thrift store and I got a giant ass white sheet, because I prefer my backing fabric to be white when I can get it, because I want to use nice, fun fabric on the outside. So, and this right here, you see how easily that went through there? Like freaking butter. Hot knife. Hello. That, ladies and germs, is why I wanted to use a quilting chirp. Because I wanted to make sure it would go all the way through. Now, of course, a horse is a horse, of course, unless he's Mr. Ed over here. Yeah. Now, one thing that we got to remember is if you have the thread too long, you're going to have this happen. And what's happened here is the thread has knotted in on itself. We're going to see if we can pick it apart and like not break the needle. We definitely don't want to do that like in our hand. But if I can't, we're going to do that. That wasn't very nice, but it'll work. And we're just going to remake the knot. It's going to be like half of a surgeon's knot is what we're doing. And yeah, when you have thread that is too long, that's the risk you run, is it just tangles in on itself. So all we're doing right now is basically tacking this down. Now, I'm having a rough time of things. Like I said, I haven't been here that much. Like, according to my video log on here of like what's still up there, right? I've been here, over the course of like the last 2 weeks, right? I've absolutely been here, but like it's not been in the way that I really meant to be. And so we're not going to count it. We're not. Yeah, so what we're doing now is we're going to be a naughty panda and we're going to multitask. So if anything mucks up, it's 100% my fault. So the goal is to get this, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to move this a little bit because I should have pinned down the top is what I should have pinned down, and then the bottom. And that's okay. That's all right, because most of the rest of it's pinned down, and that's enough for me to not break. Now we are going to properly affix this, but what I want to do is I want to baste it and then stitch it on there. Okay. And yeah, this is a lot. This is an involved process for me. Yeah, so one of the tips that I shared is to try it, and don't try and plan your mending like all the way out. So what I find is that for me, it's much easier for me to let the piece and the fabric speak to me with what's going to work best in the moment. which sounds all weird and fucking esoteric, but like for facts, okay? And like make that decision as I come to it instead of having some delusion that I'm going to plan everything out. Okay? Like that's just not going to happen. Now, one of the many reasons that people who personally know me do not know what I do, by the way, is because one of the things that I don't want any of my coworkers stumbling across my space. Because I talk about all sorts of things. I talk about parts of my life that is, you know, I'm not saying it's the business of the internet, but there's a degree of anonymity for me right now because I'm nobody. And I have so few people that like enter into my arena that I don't really have to worry about that. Like, I'm not going to be spotted on the street. Nobody is going to walk out there and say, hey, it's Ray. Hey, Ray. Like, that's not going to happen. Although, if you do see me out, feel free to say, hey, Ray. Hey, Ray. And I can tell you, not that I need to out myself, but one surefire way to know it's me, I'll be wearing these damn pants. And nobody else has a pair of pants like this. So you are not going to catch anybody else in these. It's not going to happen. So there's that. I think I also have a really distinct look to me. I don't think you are realistically going to mistake me for anybody else. Now, I do have a twin in the area, in the metro area. And apparently, according to the people I used to work with during the day, one of my other coworkers resembled me. Now, they were about my height. They had dark, curly hair. They also wore glasses, although I never wore my glasses at work. They were also about 10 years younger than me. And while they are also neurodivergent, that's it. That's where the resemblance stops. Like, we don't sound the same. The curl in my hair is different. My glasses were significantly different. We don't sound anything alike. I'm covered in tattoos. They're not. Not that you could see most of my tattoos. Like, the only one you could actively see is the one on my arm, and that's because I roll my sleeves up. But yeah. So I did not think that we looked alike enough for you to actually look at us and think we were somebody else. They were also much more likely to talk to you than I ever was. So I don't know really what happened. I was given a reason. I don't think it's a real reason. I think it's bogus, to be completely honest with y'all. I think the real reason is okay, y'all wait for it. It's a shocker. I am not well liked. I'm used to this. My sarcastic, wry, direct nature is usually not appreciated. I am kind of a no-nonsense person. I mean, I'm full of nonsense, really. But, like, I don't mince words. I don't waste time. I don't waste my time. I don't waste your time. I'm not trying to do anything extraneous when it comes to my job. Like, I do my job, I do my work, and then I go home. The only extraneous that I have is for this work, right? So it is just, what? To think that I would do, like, what? Like, that I would be a problem. Like, I really don't try to give anybody any problems at work. I try to keep a low profile at work. I try to keep it low key. I don't try to make friends, which, hey, look, if you've worked with me before, that's not why I'm there. That's not why you're there. Now, just because I don't try to make friends with people doesn't mean I'm hateful to the people I work with. I'm not. I actually try to keep it really neutral. Apparently, though, that's a matter of opinion. Now, I also get accused of arguing. Now, my thing is, if I am clarifying my position and what happened, right? If I'm giving my account of something, I'm not arguing. I'm giving you more detail so you can have better context. Because the reality is, one person and their opinion and their viewpoint is just that. And that viewpoint is going to be colored with their perspective and their experience. Oh yeah, no, sorry about that. I'm not even like paying attention to the screen. So the thing with it is that just, that's it. That's one like point of view. That's not the whole story. And if you're going to judge me off of somebody else's experience of me, yeah, you probably are not going to have a great opinion of me because I'm not well liked. Now, the funny thing is about that, everybody that I worked with on a regular basis, that I saw on a regular basis, not the people I saw for like a few minutes and didn't interact with a whole lot, doesn't have a problem with me. The people who, you know, actually interacted with me were fine with me. It was the people who barely interacted with me that had a problem with me. I think that says something. I think if you're asking the opinion of someone who frankly just doesn't know me and doesn't really interact with me heavily, and they don't think well of me, well, they don't even know me. And so to me, what I think happened, reality, is I think some people decided they didn't like me, and they decided that I would make an easy target. And the funny thing about that is, I said that I don't want to be a target. I specifically said that when I started this job. That's one of the reasons why I try to keep a low profile. I don't fit gender norms. I don't fit societal norms. I'm neurodivergent. I'm mentally ill. I'm traumatized, and that doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me the worst person. There are plenty of people who are quote-unquote well-adjusted and are terrible, okay? Like, for real. So, I try to be helpful. And here's the thing, I'm not a people person. I don't really want to be around and interact with a lot of people if I can help it. Now, the environment that I worked in, that was just hard to get around. So, grin and bear it. I could do like most of my job, no problem. There was like one thing that it was physically difficult for me to do, and that was my only issue with doing it. It's like, this is physically difficult for me to do. For those playing at home and who are new, I have a heart condition. And so certain levels of intensity of activity, that sounds dirty, are just not gonna sit well. They're gonna cause me like issues. And so here's the thing, at the end of the day, I still need to be able to function. I need to come home. I need to be able to take care of my little. I need to be able to take care of my dog. I need to be able to do all those things. And if I break myself at work, I can't do that. And I can't do that. So I'm gonna take care of myself. Now, if I tell you that everything else is fine and I'm capable of doing something, I mean it. Right? We're good. If I tell you everything else is good, it's good. But unfortunately, you know, I know myself well enough to know to tell you what I can't do, but apparently I don't know myself well enough to tell you what I can do. I don't know how that one works, but okay. So, here we are. Unemployed. It's awesome. I love this for myself. Now, I guess what kind of gets me is I didn't have that long that I had to even be at that job. I had a couple of weeks that I had to survive. And that's what I was trying to do, was survive the couple of weeks that I had left. That's all I was trying to do. I was trying to keep a low profile. I was trying not to be noticed. I was trying not to draw attention to myself. I was failing miserably, apparently. We're doing another video, by the way. And it didn't work out. Now, I think still, you know, my personal opinion is that this was absolute nonsense and poppycock. And there's no reason that this should have happened like it did. It did. Oh well, we're done. That's it. There's no way around it. I think it's still nonsense, though. I really do, because I know I'm supposed to be doing something else right now, but I just decided that what we're gonna do is we're gonna multitask today, because I had to take the entire day, by the way, because I literally was getting ready to work, like for work, and I got the note. It was bad. Like, I was really upset just because I don't need any more strain. Any of you have been following along at home for the last, pretty much my duration of Twitch, right? The whole time I've been here, know that it's not been great for me. And at this point, that's old hat, okay? That doesn't mean it's great, though. It really doesn't. It's kind of freaking terrible. And so here I am, just trying to get through. Now, I had, we'll call it not the best idea I've ever had. All right. I will call it that. It was not the best idea I've ever had. I was trying to figure out what was up, like what the deal was. And so I asked a couple of people. I was like, hey, like, do you have an issue with me? Now, here's the thing. People lie, right? Just in case you didn't know, people lie. That's the thing. But again, I'm a direct creature, and it makes sense to me if I have a question to just ask. Okay? I don't, look, I'm not above subterfuge, but as a general rule, if I have a question, I will just ask. It's just easier that way. And the thing with it is just because I ask a question does not mean I'm owed an answer, and I need y'all out there on the internet to understand that. That's the thing. You are always free to ask questions. That does not mean that the person you're asking owes you an answer. Okay? That's not what that means. But if you're always, ask, by all means. Now, the thing with it is, though, is understand that you may get an answer you don't like, right? Because it wasn't your damn business. And that's fair and that's okay. Like me, I tell people, like, don't feel obligated to, you know, answer my silly ass questions. Like, please, please, please never feel like you need to answer them. You're always free to tell me to bugger off. Like, really. That's fine. But because I'm curious, I'll ask. And right, that's how you learn things, right? You ask questions. You read, you observe, like this is what you do. And my thing with it is that the thing with observing, right? That's tricksy little hobbits. The thing with observing is you're observing it through the lens of your experience, right? Which means you may not be getting an accurate picture of like what you're seeing. You're seeing it based on whatever bias you have. So if you have a hang up or something about something, you're gonna see it through that. Now, me personally, if you get to know me, like, my thing with it is I am not actually, like, really and truly, I'm not a mean person. I can be, mean just like anybody else, right? But like, it's not on my to-do list. I don't wake up in the morning and decide, I want to be hateful today. Like, that's not what's happening, right? That's not what's happening at all. I am asking questions. I am curious. I am trying to learn and grow and understand. I'm trying to figure stuff out, and part of learning is growing, right? Like, asking questions is absolutely a fantastic way to expand your horizons and whatnot. So that's the whole thing. And I don't know. Now, again, I'm not but so broken up about it. It's like the divorce, right? I wasn't upset that I was getting divorced, right? I was upset about the consequences that I was going to have to suddenly just deal with, right? That's what was getting to me, is I knew that my life was about to explode, right? That's what it was. And like, when you see the train like barreling towards you, I think it's fair for you maybe to not be super thrilled about that. And like, I just kept telling myself every time I got tired, every time it seemed like it was just a lot, I was like, you've only got a couple more weeks. You just have to make it a couple more weeks. That's all you've got to do. And that's doable. I kept telling myself, you can do this. It's not that long. It's not that long. Now, at this point, I don't know what's going on. I was assured that the place that I'm going to is not barred for me. I was assured that my thing with it is their perspective, or at least how they presented it to me, and I gotta tell you, take this with a grain of salt. They're like, oh, well, we're doing you this favor by not, like, blacklisting you, not making it, difficult for you to move on to your new position, because we could do that. But that's the thing. If you are throwing out there that you could screw me over, are you doing me a favor? Or is this a power play, right? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're trying to put me in my place. Y'all, I'm 37. No, please, no, let's not do that. Because seriously, Seriously, like, how old are you? What is your issue? What is your damage, bruh? That you feel the need to do that. Like, you can't talk to me like I'm a person. You can't treat me like a human. And here's my thing. I can act any old damn way, but I choose not to. Like, just because you have beef with me doesn't mean I need to engage. And I usually don't. Like, as a rule, I usually don't. I'm like, you know what? This isn't worth my time or energy. I don't need to do this. And so, like, if you want to come at me, I just, slow blink at you like, okay. And then, are you done now? And then, I'm ready to move on. Like, because I'm not trying to entertain, cater to, or encourage that kind of behavior with regard to my person. Like, no. And so what I do is I choose just not to engage. I'm not turning my back on you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not even not listening. I can tell you verbatim what you said to me. I know exactly what you said. I also know exactly what you're doing. And that's why I'm just going to stop. Now, okay. Those who don't know, people don't like that, right? They feel some kind of way about it, because when somebody's mad and they want they want to do this, they're doing this on purpose. They're instigating and they're pushing on purpose. This is not an accident. This is not, I tripped and fell and my ego got in the way. Like, that's not what happened. When people do these things, it is on purpose. And so here we are. So I told myself that one of the things I can do while I have some more space in my day is catch up on some of the work that I haven't been able to do. Catch up on my backlog, get some work on some projects that, I have not been able to really give any kind of time or attention to. I can do those things. And I've still been like feeling some kind of way like all day, right? Just because I don't like change. I don't deal with it well. I don't take it well. I don't respond to it well any more than any other person does. Some people thrive on change and do well with it. I do not, and I know I don't. And honestly, yes, I was trying to keep my day job. I was trying to not lose it. I feel like I've lost enough. But not good enough, I guess. And so here we are. Now, I've had a couple of people who personally know me, be like, you're not the problem. It's not you, this, that, and the other. And the thing with it is that, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I know that that's not the story that's getting told. I know that I am, yet again, the villain. And, if I'm going to be the villain, I want to be the villain on my own terms. I want to be the villain because I deserve to be the villain, because I, was going for that, right? I don't want to be the villain because I'm being demonized, right? Like, if I'm gonna have to wear that crown, can I have earned it at least? And I don't feel like I've earned it. Like, I was telling, like, I had to train a couple of people to do my job, which I thought was weird, right? Because I really did not feel like I needed to be training people. I did not feel that I had been long enough. I did not feel that I was competent enough to be doing that. I thought that, like, there had to be somebody better suited to the job than I do. Like, I did the job because I was told to do the job, and I was peon, okay? When I'm a peon, when I'm a worker bee, I do what I'm told. That's it. But that's the thing, is I do what I'm told. I don't argue with you. Now, if I think that you've got something confused or mixed up or misunderstood, I'm going to seek to make sure that, like, the record is set straight. But that is not me arguing with you. Yeah, I got told this morning that I was arguing. I was like, what? I'm not. They're like, this is not a debate. And I'm like, I didn't say it was a debate. I'm not trying to argue. And they were like talking over me saying, yes, you were. And I'm like, what in the world is going on right now? And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. And all I can think of is what's going on is that these people don't handle conflict at all, like, well at all. And their way of handling conflict is to become, like, instantly hostile to you. And that is not good management, like, at all. Like, I don't care how hostile somebody gets to you. You don't need to go there with them. Like, you don't. Not in a work situation. And, like, obviously, common sense here, we all know what I'm talking about. You can talk to someone calmly and rationally, but you do not have to, treat somebody like they are less than. And that's exactly what was happening. I was being treated like I just didn't know anything, that I had no sense. And look, if that is how you're gonna treat your workers, I don't want to be one of them. Okay? Because that treatment is not acceptable to me. And I don't care whether I work for you or whether I see you on the street. You don't treat people that way. Like, you just don't. And if you think it's okay to treat people that way, you are not correct. And I don't think that things are, like, life is going to work out for you for but so long if you act like that. Like, people are going to have a problem with you. And, they're gonna have issues. And my thing with it is look, if your way of dealing with stuff is that shoddy, then you know what, you can have it. I don't need to be a part of that. Now, I am also one to exercise the use of my chain of command. So if I have a problem with the person that I'm answering to, I will go above their head. And that is how that works, people. Now, I got to tell you, from what I have seen of the entire company, I am positive that nobody at any point has it together. Because the communication that people exhibited was not good. And that was all up and down. That was various different people. That was various different issues. It was that was people that I'd had to hear from a bunch. That was people that I'd heard from once. Like, nobody has it together. Everybody was, like, all over the place. And the miscommunications, like, there's, it's understandable when, like, people have differing vocabularies and backgrounds, for there sometimes to be some, like, confusion or things not to be communicated well. But if you're in the business of having to direct people, you need to get that together. And, like, the company proper that I worked for didn't have it together. And, like, I found very quickly that there was an issue. And I went through all the proper channels as I was supposed to, and it came to my attention that things were not being resolved correctly. And like the whole point of like these channels, right? The whole point of them is for resolution purposes, right? This is why we have HR. This is why you have, managers above managers. This is why you have other avenues. Like, this is the whole point of like reporting systems and open door policies and SOPs. Like, that's the whole point of all this, is to have, ways to deal with these things. And the ways that we had like access to were frankly not very good. So there we have it. Now, I don't know. At this point, right, it doesn't matter. I talked to wife very briefly because of some stuff that happened this weekend. I've not been in a good way. And I have not been trying to talk to anybody, most especially wife. And, well, wife is wife. Wife doesn't know me as well as friend. And there were things that were going to happen that were probably going to not be taken well by me. And I understand that wife was not going to mean anything by it. That doesn't mean it wasn't gonna stomp on a nerve, right? People cannot mean to do things and that happen anyway, right? But that's the whole reason to have like a conversation. But in my heightened emotional state over the issue, talking to me about it and saying certain things was not going to be a good idea. And I knew that, so I made the executive decision to put some distance between myself and anybody that might, step on my fingers that were very tenuously holding on to the ledge. Okay, like I did not want to put anybody in the position with me where they pushed me. And I saw them pushing me, and they didn't see them pushing me. But I saw it, and I just was like, don't ever talk to me again. Like, we're done. Yeah. So that's a really big patch, y'all. It's a really, really big area. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. I forgot what I was doing. As one does. So yeah. I gotta tell you, I've never had the best work experiences with like jobs. They haven't been bad, but I've had some like doozies. But I feel like the experiences that I've had this go round of like working for other people has been especially bad. Like especially bad. Yeah, I feel like I have gotten like so much. just so many bad experiences. So we've turned it inside out, we've safety pinned it, we've basted this. Now we're going to turn it right side out. Which is a whole ass thing. Yes, those are my child scissors, by the way. Yes. Ow. Rabbits. There was a bunny outside earlier. It's bunny season, I guess. Where do bunnies go in the winter? What are they doing? Are they like hibernating? Is that a thing? So as we can see, you can see how big the hole is now. Like, that's what she said. That's terrible. It's really extensive. Now, like I said, right, I did say something about a pocket. We've got some pocket business here. We've got some pocket business over here. We're really concerned with this pocket though, because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out these threads right here and remove this pocket all the way down to patch under it and then sew the pocket back on, which I've already done once actually with this pocket from here all the way down here because I had to fix this area. So like, and that's the thing, if you go to mend something and you've got a pocket, take the pocket off. Like, take the pocket off. So we're at an hour. Technically, we're supposed to be doing extended project time right now. I don't know that we're going to get too much. I don't know that we're going to get too much farther. I don't know that we're going to get too much farther because, frankly, it is really hot in here and I'm really tired. And, like, how much battery does my phone have? My phone's doing all right. But... Okay. Now my thing with it is, I think what I'll do is I'll do this next part, and I think we might call it quits for the evening. Just because I need some more space, from like people, things, and stuff like that. And that's, you know, it's not y'all, it's me. I just need space. And my very good scissors. Yes. Yes, those are my embroidery scissors. Those are the bomb diggity, y'all. They're also super sharp. They also put a hole in my uniform. Because I had them in my pocket. I got smart after that, and I decided to start. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim all these frayed edges. Now, sometimes I leave the frayed edges, but I think that these frayed edges are just, it's a little too much going on here. If the frayed edges were just like this much, and it was just a little bit, and it looked like it could like aesthetically be a thing, I would leave them. But these are kind of gnarly. So we're just gonna cut them. And we're not, waste not, want not here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna slice all these off, and I'm gonna put them in my scraps jar. And like I'm not trimming down all of it, right? There's some I am leaving. It's just the big scraggly ones that I want to get rid of. So now the funny thing is, here's the funny thing about this. I have a job offer. Like, I have another job offer, and that was in the works when I accepted this position. And I was hoping to leave sooner. Okay. And I was told that because of this, that, and the other, I couldn't do that. And the funny thing is, that's basically what ended up happening anyway. Now, I don't get to start sooner. I'll have to start, like, I might be able to start in 2 weeks, but I'm definitely not going to be able to start next week. I wish that I was. I really do. Because that would eliminate some stress. And we're going to go ahead and get these two over here. But the good news is I might be able to only have 2 weeks of a gap instead of 4. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for this. I'm just not. because I don't think that's wise. So now what I would usually do is I would tack these pieces down. Now, I'm going to let this marinate in my brain, to be honest with you. I didn't look at the damage really carefully, so I didn't know once I like put something under it what it would look like. I know I definitely want to put something here. I don't know what it is though. And so I'm going to want to let that sit, because like this, I could probably patch this and just put something over it and that would be fine. This is a little more extensive, and this is an area that gets pulled a lot. So I'm going to want to have a lot of care when I do this, because like I did it here already, right? But this area, like, you know, it's not frayed, but it's really thin. There's nothing reinforcing that. And so what I've gotten to the habit I found with these is that the best thing I can do for these is to put something on the back and put something on the front, so it's fully reinforced. So I think we're gonna call it good tonight. You know, it's really tempting for me to just like go ham on this and work on this like forever all night, but that's not like a great idea. So yeah. What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna call it good. Say thanks for being here. I know some people popped in here and there. If you come back and watch the replay, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for dropping by. Remember that you can always find me somewhere on the internet, probably, maybe, likely. But, all right, my little railings, it was wonderful seeing you. I'm going to let this marinate, which, you know, is why I don't expect to plan things fully, right? So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night. And I will see y'all, hopefully bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. Actually, no, let me correct that. We're probably not going to do project time tomorrow because we're going to have the little. I might do some gaming later, though, instead of. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Toodles.